Hello, everybody, and welcome to the We Know Traders podcast over here on RHAP. I am your host, the Duke of Deception, Pooya Vakili, ready to talk about another cast member of the Traitors US Season 4, which premieres January 8th. Welcome to our road to the premiere. So, today we're going to be going over and talking about somebody who is known to the Dancing with the Stars universe, unknown to me. Excited to hear about this man, Mark Ballas. And with me today is someone who I'm happy to be able to call a friend. My favorite player to have ever participated in the Circle US and a fellow feed updater. It's How you doing?
Oh my gosh, Pooya, that just literally made my day. Like, I'm going to close my computer and I'm ready to go. Thank you so much. I mean, out of circle players, there's not many to choose from, but that's a whole different No, I'm kidding. But no, thank you for that. I'm so excited to be talking about this, though. I love the Traitors. I love your recaps of the Traitors always. I feel like that's what really engages me into the whole season. And I love Mark Ballas and Dancing with the Stars. So very excited to talk about Mark today. It's so crazy that you're saying that Mark's not even a person you really know, where he's been so ingrained into my pop culture knowledge for years since he started Dancing with the Stars. So very excited about this.
Well, that's incredible. That means we've come to the right place because, yeah, truthfully, here's the thing, right? Dance with the Stars just wrapped up a season, and this was a season that I kept up with looking at the results. I still don't quite know how it works, and I feel like for the most part, I think incorrectly assumed it was all about the stars and the dancers are afterthoughts. But it sounds like the dancers are just as important and stick out to the fans of Dancing with the Stars than the stars do.
Yeah, where I feel like where we are right now in Dancing with the Stars, it's been over 20 seasons. I forgot exactly how long now, but the pros have become stars themselves, and even sometimes are bigger celebrities than their partners. Like sometimes you don't even know who the celebrity is they're dancing with, but you care about the pros, so you vote for their partnership. And I think Mark has definitely made his name as one of the pros to become a sort of celebrity within his own right. So I think he's going to have a lot of people, a lot of viewers watching out for him. And especially after this last season, he was with Whitney Levitt, who's from what's it called? The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah.
And so they were a very polarizing but popular couple of the season. So he's very in the zeitgeist of everything right now.
And so here he is making his way over to the Traitors. So off rip, do you think that Mark was a good selection for this, or was this a surprising inclusion into a show like the Traitors?
At first, I was a little bit surprised because I felt like Mark kind of can sometimes come off as a little bit reserved or doesn't really care about all of these things. But I actually watched a podcast that he and his partner Whitney from Dancing with the Stars did maybe a month ago, and they were asking him about the Traitors and his journey to getting on the show. And he said that him and his wife were huge fans. They've watched everything from the UK one, the Australian one. They've watched all these different iterations of it. And I think that's when you know someone's truly in the fandom, is when they start watching the ones that are outside of the US. He's watched a lot of Survivor seasons. So then knowing that he's a huge fan of this show and these types of things, it makes a little bit more sense. And he's very competitive. I mean, being a competition dancer, I grew up with a dancer. So the mindset, is there. So at first I was a little bit, I won't say confused, but I thought that maybe there were some other Dancing with the Stars pros that I would like to see more on there. But then now, after hearing about the journey to get on there, I'm really excited to see him and what he can do.
That's exactly the type of thing I'm looking for when we're doing these previews, is because I think that for some of us, I'll call us the laymen, those of us who don't really know a lot of these shows, I feel like it's very easy to judge a person based on the show they were on, when in reality, someone could be on a show that has nothing to do with social strategy and then be very well versed in it because they're a fan of it and watch it and do, think about it and otherwise. So it sounds like Mark has at the very least done the homework, which I'm very much here for.
Yeah, me too. He said he watched something 40 seasons of Survivor. They binged it, I think, during COVID. So yeah, he's well versed, and yeah, interested to see what he will do, whether he's a faithful or a traitor. I don't even know like which one I would rather him be. But I think he's going to be pretty good and stick a long time because I think the last Dancing with the Stars person we had was it wasn't Val. It
It
was
was season 2.
yeah, it was like Mark. I or was his name Mark?
Max?
It Max. Yeah, it was Val's brother Max, and he was not that good, but I think he actually is the personality type that I said I thought Mark was going to be, where he was just kind of like, I don't really
Mhm.
care. I don't know what I'm doing here. But I think Mark is going to get in there and actually like play the game and be willing to talk to people and like figure things out.
Yeah, I think that Mark also, just off of looking at him, has a good look for the castle. Like, I feel
Mhm.
like he fits the motif quite nicely, which I'm very excited to see him play there. So, so you said you are not sure which direction he could go as far as faithful or traitor.
Yeah.
Is there a specific reason that you're unsure? Like, how does he hit both characteristics well?
Because I think he could hide well as a traitor. Like, I think he's a personable person enough where he's going to be able to like make good connections with people and seem unassuming. Um, but again, like he has that mind for the game. So I think that he would be good in the Trader's Turret. But then I'm also like, I think he might be a really good faithful, like similar to a Dylan Efron, where he's going to have good reads and be able to figure everything out. So I don't know. Like I think I lean to wanting him to be a traitor because I think he will do a good job at it. But if he's a faithful, because I normally when I'm watching the show, I'm rooting for the traitors. So then I want good people in the traitors.
Right.
But I think if he is a faithful, he will be a really good faithful and probably be able to detect some things, hopefully.
And I feel like the other thing I hadn't really thought about is the fact that now I don't know how many seasons Mark Ballas has been on with the Dancing with the Stars.
He's been there
Um,
since like 2008. He took like a little bit of a break for maybe like 2 or 3 years, but he's basically been there since the beginning. I think his first season was like 4 or 5 or something like that. And
mhm.
we're now on like season 30 or something.
I just feel like the more I'm thinking about it and I'm putting dancing like under the microscope, I
Mhm.
just feel like the combination of having to really trust your partner when you're dancing and then with specifically Dance with the Stars, you don't know who you're going to get paired up with and like it can be very different personalities. I think those two things do lend to his characteristics leaning very faithful to me
Mhm.
because he is someone who's going to be very trusting or he is going to be someone who if he feels good about the person he'll go all in with them and would hope that it's vice versa as well.
Mhm.
And I think that being able to gel with many different personalities is a huge asset coming into a show like this.
Yeah, I agree. And I think even on top of that, being able to deal with different celebrity personalities and
Right.
you yourself not technically being the celebrity in Dancing with the Stars, you kind of have to know how to like pull back and not be the center of attention. Where I think a lot of these other people, especially maybe like housewives or people who are not part of like social strategy shows, might want to be the center of attention. And he might be able to be that like person next to them, but not necessarily the target himself. So yeah, I think dealing with a lot of different celebrity personalities is going to help him a lot in the castle.
Yeah, I think that that is also a very underrated skill to have in a castle full of very loud, big ego personalities.
Yeah.
Being able to sit in the shadows a little bit, not like completely hidden and not silenced, but just knowing to do it just the right amount, Goldilocks it a little bit, if you will. I think that's a great quality to have also.
Yeah. No, I agree completely.
Yeah. Sit there and just let the other pieces around you move and shake. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a photo of the cast here so we can talk about who we think, or first of all, I should ask, QZ, to your knowledge, is there anybody here that Mark has any prior connection with?
Okay, I'm trying to look through and see. I don't think so. Sorry, my dog is getting up on his little bed, which is my pillows.
Oh, no
But
worries.
no, I don't think he has any connections. The only thing I can maybe say is Johnny because Mark won Dancing with the Stars with uh what's her name? Christy I'm gonna say her last name wrong. I don't know it. Christy
Oh,
Yum,
the yes, yes, I know who you're
the
talking
figure
about.
skater. So
Mhm.
yeah, I maybe there's some connection there with Johnny being a figure skater as well, Olympic figure skater, but that's the only thing that I can maybe stretch and say. I don't know for sure though if he has any connections with anyone else. There's definitely no one that was like on Dancing with the Stars with him or anything like that.
Well, my curiosity has peaked now that you've mentioned he has binged Survivor, and like potentially that would have been over. That
Yes.
would have been recently enough if it was during lockdown. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very curious to see if the three people from Survivor they put in here he likes.
I
That'll be fun.
know. Yeah, I definitely think he knows them. I mean, he didn't like say exactly what seasons he watched, but he said that they binged a lot of them. So I'm assuming they binged like I mean, these people from Survivor, I feel like are characters that you would know if you've binged the show. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
I'm curious how he gets along with them, if he knows, like, if he admits to knowing them or what.
yeah, because I think that it's interesting when the sentence is binged a lot of seasons because did you like binge the first 10 and then like fall off, or were you like, nah, this is low quality, let me get to like season 25 and start from there because it's a little HD now. So I'm not sure. And then obviously if it was during lockdown, like Jam Jam was season 44, so maybe there's a world where he watched
He didn't.
Jam Jam live or not at all. So it's like
Ooh.
a good mix where it could be like one of them, two of them, all of them. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm curious for him to say more about his Survivor knowledge. And also I wonder, like, did he start to dabble into anything else, like a Big Brother maybe, and maybe he knows like a Tiffany. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Survivor, famously the gateway drug to the other reality TV
Right.
shows in our realm. It's the easier one to digest out the gate.
Yeah.
So QT, are there any people here that you are looking at and you're thinking, I don't think Mark's gonna gel with them?
Mm. Okay, let's see. I think I almost like automatically want to say Lisa Rinna just because I know Lisa Rinna's personality from Housewives. She's very like headstrong and like can feel like it's her way or the highway. And
Hmm.
I think that maybe if I think Mark is like subtle enough, but I also think that if he has a strong point to be made and it's not being heard, he might like want to make sure that it does get heard and stop someone else from talking. So I can see there being something there. But that's also maybe just like fan fiction in my mind because I'm just excited to see these different people from completely different areas of shows that I really like interact. But yeah, like Lisa Rinna's super strong personality. Um, I don't know. Like we said in the beginning, I think he's going to do a good job, even if he doesn't like certain people. I think he'll do a good job masking it at least. Um, yeah, there's no one that sticks out as like he's definitely not going to get along with this person. I think he'll get along with mostly everyone.
Well, I have a question. Can
Mhm.
Mark get spicy? Like if Mark's at the round table and someone's accusing him of being a traitor, can Mark dish it back, or is Mark kind of gonna be a lot more passive than that?
That's what's going to be interesting to watch because we haven't really seen that from him in Dancing with the Stars. Like, okay, you get the dancing, you get a little bit of a package before their rehearsals, but you don't get much of their personalities and like what they're like in day-to-day life. um but Mark is known as one of like maybe the hardest pros on Dancing with the Stars, where he can be very direct. And when he's working with his partners, he's very like he wants to get the task done. So maybe he can come off as like a little bit mean sometimes to them, but he is very strong in that. So I can see him like speaking up. I don't think he's going to be docile by any means or feel like he can't talk. I think he definitely will be able to say what he thinks. Also, I think, like I was saying, in this past season of Dancing with the Stars, him and his partner got a lot of scrutiny for different things, and a lot of fans were
Mhm.
like mad at him for like the most random stuff about like his choreography or whatever. Um, and he did clap back to them a lot on social media. Like he was making the TikToks like, actually, this dance is a foxtrot because blah, 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 blah. So he like comes with receipts and knows how to back himself up. And I don't think he says anything that can't be backed up. So yeah, I think he's going to be good with starting conversations and being able to get his point across in the conversations. Also, his mom is like I don't know much about her, but she's like super big in the dance world as well. She's one of
Okay.
the judges on Strictly Come Dancing, which is like the Dancing with the Stars for
Oh,
the UK. Yeah, she's I think the head judge of it. So he comes from a family of like strong people. So yeah, I definitely think that he's going to be a strong character in this and not someone that just plays passively or like lets other people talk without getting his 2 cents in.
good, because that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm looking for, at the very least, like, have some fight in you, because if you're just gonna let them take you, then you should be gone.
Right.
So
Yeah, no, I definitely don't think that will be Mark. Like if he comes under hot fire, I think he'll be able to at least like try to get out of it and not just like lay down and die.
okay.
Yeah.
So is there any other, actually, you know what? Let me get a prediction out of you, QT, about Mark. Where do you think, how far do you think Mark gets into the season?
Ooh, I think he's gonna get pretty far. It's interesting with this cast because I think we have a lot of people on this cast that I'm like super unsure about how they're going to play the game or even if they're gonna understand the game. And I think
Hmm.
he's gonna do better than those people because he comes in with this understanding. But then we also have like Rob Sesternino and Natalie and like people that are Tiffany even that are super good at these types of games and might clock the fact that Mark is like underrated but still really good. So depending on where he falls, if he's in the Traitors with some of these good people or he's a faithful that's showing that he knows where the Traitors are, and let's say we have like Tiffany as a traitor and Mark is clocking her, I think she'll be fast to get him out. So I really hope that he goes in there and he's not a traitor. I'm so sorry. Dream, please stop. I hope that he goes in there and if he's not a traitor, he's not too fast to show that he knows everything going on if he does. I think he's going to get like I really hope he gets far, but I think he'll at least get like midway through the season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thought is, in the event that he is kind of a detective-y, like very detective faithful, I think he makes it a decent amount before getting called. Again,
Mhm.
I think I'm contributing that based on what we learned about him being, a pro dancer and Dance with the Stars, meaning you got to like stand back a little bit. So even if he's being a detective, he's not going to be a very loud one out the gate. He's going to be in the shadows. So that's good.
Yeah. I hope so. I think so.
Yeah. Because I think the alternative for him in the event that he's a faithful is if he is not really detectiving off screen with people, I could see him being a very inconsequential, like episode 4 murder, which would be kind of the worst way to go.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm scared of happening, that he's just going to be one of those murders because it's like, yeah, we can get Mark out. Maybe because he doesn't have a lot of connections to people, too. It's an easy kill that like no one will really care about, especially if it's early in the season before he's able to make those connections. So as long as he's able to get past that, I think he will get pretty far.
Yeah. And I honestly think, just based off the looks here, if Mark is someone who makes it to, like, let's say final 9, final 8, and the Traitors are looking to recruit someone, maybe to even paint as a traitor to kick out, I could see Mark being that candidate. I could see that
Ooh,
in him.
I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I would like that. I think that would be good. And I think he'd be willing to do it too, to become a traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be very fun to see. Well, QT, is there, I know that, we've talked about Mark now at length. Is there anybody on this cast that you would like to speak on before we wrap things up here that you're excited to see?
I mean, Donna Kelsey is just like, that's so exciting. Being a Taylor Swift fan, I'm like, what lore is she going to bring? I'm sure none, but it's still exciting to even think about the fact that like Taylor Swift might possibly, probably going to be watching this season of The Traitors. That's a fun thing to think about. So I'm excited for Donna. Also, it seems like Donna is a pretty big fan of these shows as well, from what I'm hearing. So again, I think a lot of people, I mean, so many people now are fans of the Traitors. I think it's really made it a name for itself. So I think at least people are going to come into this season knowing what needs to be done. And a lot of these people are very like strong-minded people. I'm excited to see Candace play Portia, like the housewives. There's really not one person on this cast that I'm not excited about or that I don't know. Like I feel like I at least know everyone. The only one that maybe I'm like, is Steven from oh, is he from One Tree Hill? I'm like reading his little thing. I
Yeah.
I know him from what's the other show that he was on, the reality show?
Laguna Beach.
Laguna Beach, yeah. So like based on what I know about him from there, I'm kind of like, I don't know that I care about seeing him on here. But everyone else, very excited. Dorinda's back. I like literally can go through down the list and tell you like why I'm excited about each person. I think it's gonna be a fun season.
I think so too. The more I've sat with this cast, the more I've become hyped on it because I feel like, especially once you get to season 4, I feel like season 1, it's expected that some people are not going to be familiar with the game. Season 2, it's like okay, they're learning the game. By
Mhm.
season 4, I have to imagine a lot of people have become fans of the show and are watching the show and will kind of know what they want to do and how they want to go about it. So
Mhm.
that and the personalities they've put together, I think, is a great combination. So
Yeah,
outside of like one person, I'm stoked on everybody else.
love that. Do you want to say who the
Yeah.
one person is or no?
Yeah. The one person is next to Alan in this photo. It's Michael
Oh,
Rappaport.
okay. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
But no, otherwise, I think we're in for a very fun
Yeah.
season. QT,
Oh,
thank you so much. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
sorry, also fun fact. I mean, this doesn't like really matter much, but Mark was just on the season of Dancing with the Stars with Dylan, former winner, but I don't think they knew each other while this was being filmed, so that's
Hmm.
unfortunate. That would have been a fun little connection to have, but maybe we have like two Dancing with the Stars people that are also winners of the Traitors. Who knows?
I'm curious. And I'm going to ask this based on what you just said.
Mhm.
So, when Dancing with the Stars is happening, right? There's like
Yeah.
10, let's say 10 cast members and then 10 dancers assigned to each cast member.
Mhm.
Does everyone get to mingle, or is it so busy that you're pretty much only hanging out with your person and that's it? You're not seeing other people.
I think you're mostly with your person, but there also is some mingling because everyone comes off the season talking about how like it's such a family and they've made like such close friends. So I think you do get to mingle. There's probably a lot of downtime, especially on like show days. You're there for so long, just like sitting and waiting for things to happen. So I think there is a lot of mingling that happens behind the scenes.
Okay. So that's okay. So then maybe Dylan did give some pointers. If Mark was like, hey, listen, what kind of advice
But
would you give someone?
but this season of the Traitors filmed before Dancing with the Stars started this year. Like Dancing with the Stars didn't film until September, and
Yeah.
then Traitors filmed in June, right?
Oh, he would have already
Yeah.
gone through it. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You're
like they met
right.
after the fact. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that
Okay.
sucks. But I don't know, maybe like Dylan was already in the talks for Dancing with the Stars at the time, and I don't know, who
Yeah.
knows? But an interesting connection nonetheless.
Yeah, all will be revealed come January 8th. Should be a good time. QT, thank you so much for walking us through Mark Ballas. I'm actually actively very stoked to see how this plays out now that I'm more familiar with him. Let the people know if they want to hear more from you, where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm everywhere at Corey Tyler, Qurityler, all the social media platforms. Find me there.
Perfect. Y'all already know you can find me at Pooyaism on all social media. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pooya. That's where I am when I'm not podcasting. I'm talking every week with Liana over on the Pooya and Liana Lounge. I'm doing 90 Day Fiance, as you already know, the Hot Mess Express there. Never stops going. But I'm covering quite a bit of traders, obviously. I'm going to be double dipping with the US coming January 8th. The UK begins January 1st. So two podcasts running simultaneously, all in the same feed. So make sure you're subscribed to this feed here. And if you're looking for a show to watch in between now and Traders, I recommend Traders Canada if you haven't checked it out yet. It's 10 episodes, easy, digestible, and I'll have the podcast and exits for you right here when you finish them. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us here today. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new cast member to preview. But until then, y'all take care. Have a good one.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.